Hey, what's going on, crypto people? This is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good afternoon and happy Saturday to you. I know some of you guys are checking out the college football, right? I'm sure some of you guys are checking that out today. Listen, I'm going to cover some couple of things with you guys about that lawsuit, kind of where that is. I think the news with Coinbase, again, I think is really outstanding what they're looking to do. Not that I have very too many good things to say about Coinbase, but this is a good deal. I think this withdrawals into your Visa cards and stuff like that, bank cards, if you will. I think it's pretty cool news. So I'm going to share with you guys as well. And I'll share a little bit about what's going on with Celsius. Maybe I'll share that today as well, because I think that is really cool. So, all right, guys, listen, this is your XRP Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. So let's do this. So I think I'm going to start with a video again. Just a reminder, and I think it was Real Boy XRP who shared this. Let me see if I can find it. I thought it was really cool, and I think it's always important, right? So to catch a glimpse into the future, you have to know about the past. Friendly reminder to the OGs and a perspective for the newcomers onward. And I couldn't agree more. Look, it's so very important to understand how far, it's not where you are, it's how far you've come. And I think that is hugely important. But if you don't have a vision, right? If you don't have a vision, right? And my friend used to say to me all the time, my mentor used to say to me all the time, if you don't have a dream, then you can't have a dream come true. And I think it's always important to have vision, especially in this space. The definition of vision, however, is to see it before the masses see it, And so while the past is important, it's a reference point to how far we've come. And I don't think there's a better video to kind of illustrate that very point of how far we've come. Let me play this for you guys. Shout out to Real XRP Boy, big time value add to the XRP community. We appreciate you big time, my friend.
Until that clarity is there, it's hard for companies to invest in a big way. Now, to your point, I would have predicted 2018 was really the year of institutional adoption of crypto. Here we are in Q4, and I would say it has underachieved what I would have guessed would achieve this year, largely, I think, because of some of the regulatory uncertainty, and also in terms of custody solutions and really the ability from a security point of view support institutional adoption and usage of these crypto assets.
I'd like you to address some of the rumors circling around. I mean, there are indications that perhaps your biggest rival, Swift, will be joining you. Could you shed some light?
Well, look, Swift is owned by the banks, and we are here to help the banks. We feel like blockchain technologies are a massive step function forward in terms of how correspondent banking has historically worked. The technologies that banks use today that Swift developed decades ago really hasn't evolved and kind of kept up with the market. And so we feel like we're here to help the banks. Swift is owned by the banks. There have been opportunities where maybe there's partnership opportunities. We haven't been able to bring those to fruition. But we're going to keep focusing on solving the customer problem. Swift said not that long ago they didn't see blockchain as a solution to correspondent banking. We've got well over 100 of their customers saying that they disagree.
So strictly internet rumors, yes? Just to
strictly
clarify.
Rumors. Look, there's lots of rumors, and I'm hesitant to comment on any rumor, because if you comment on the false rumors, then you have to comment on the true rumors, and so you just avoid all of them.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well, I think what we're doing and executing on a day-by-day basis is, in fact, taking over Swift, in that we've now signed up well over 100 banks. Some of the largest Swift-enabled banks in the world are now using Ripple's technology. Just last week, we saw a remittance company who's using Ripple's technology. They reduced the price per transaction to their consumers from $20 per transaction to $2 per transaction, and they saw an 800% increase in usage overnight. That's the type of dynamic that Swift isn't able to support that we're able to address right now. And that's something we saw just in the last couple of weeks. So we certainly want to see banks succeed in this new world order and take advantage of these technologies. To the extent we can work with Swift to do that, then that's great.
Yeah, see that is a very cool thing, and I think it's important. That was in Q4 of 2018, right? So he was kind of hinting towards, or not hinting, but pointing out the fact that the institution adoption hadn't actually taken place, and obviously that's because there is a lack. There was certainly back then a lack of regulatory clarity. But I think it's hugely important to understand that if he feels as though, if Brad Garlinghouse feels as though, in fact, it would what they're executing they have already or are taking over Swift with 100 customers. With 100 customers. What are they doing with 400 customers? So in 2 years, they've multiplied that by 4, right? So I think, I think it's to suggest or intimate that what the people at Ripple are doing is failing is in any way is largely misleading, because the Ripple net is growing big time, fourfold from 2018 to now, right? It's over 400. Ripple was said over 400 customers, and nearly half, I believe, nearly half are FIs. So, I just think when you look at current employees and past employees, from where they started to when they left, the numbers are up and to the right, right? In a lot of ways, even if it's not as fast as or as improved as they would have liked, it still is an improvement. If liquidity is not as much as they would have liked, the liquidity in the quarters did improve. They improved. They didn't go backwards, right? People weren't hopping off, right? Right, or changing their mind and saying, yeah, I don't think we want to be a part of that ODL quarter, right? So it may not be moving as fast as they would have liked, right? Certainly when you go into a position, you have a goal, right? And you certainly want to set it high. And if you fall short, cool, aim high, miss high. So, to suggest that that's somehow a failure, I don't think that's fair at all. As you know what I mean? I don't think that's a failure at all. And so Ripple, the company, is certainly not looking at it that way. Progress is progress, right? And I think the most important part, again, is to look back to see how far we've come. That's the big deal. And think about that: 100 to 400 plus now, and in 2 years is pretty partnerships, right? So that's pretty significant, right? So I think they should be applauded on what they've done so far, right? So this is interesting here. Mac Attack XRP, how are you, my friend? Thanks for sharing this with the community. Big time value add, as always. Mac Attack XRP on Twitter, right? Ripple partners with UK EMoney Institute, GuavaPay, linked to Ripple's largest banking partner in Thailand. Let's go over this one, see what's going on here. All right, so it says, just from the U Today, U.Today, from Yuri Mokshan, GuavaPay, a payments operator from the UK, has joined RippleNet and already began collaborating with Ripple's banking partner in Thailand. Ripple's blockchain monster has inked a partnership with another promising payments operator. I like that they call Ripple a blockchain monster. And it's called GuavaPay. It is based in the UK and has a EMoney license obtained from the local regulator FCA. Curiously, GuavaPay has already been working with another major Ripple partner, Siam Commercial Bank, the largest commercial bank in Thailand. GuavaPay has announced that it has joined RippleNet, created by Ripple, so that the global payments platform and financial institution could use it for facilitating faster and cheaper cross-border payments. And again, like I said earlier, that bank and FI ratio, or that bank and SME ratio, or that bank and MSB ratio is just about 50-50. So it's not just about the banks, right? And I think that's important to know. GuavaPay has announced that its joint RippleNet created by Ripple so that the global payments platform and financial institutions could use it for facilitating faster and cheaper cross-border payments. GuavaPay has recently been granted an EMoney license from the British regulator, FSA. The company offers its clients assistance with making digital payments to over 100 countries and more than 30 global and local currencies. By joining RippleNet, the company intends to expand its own network of partners. As reported by You Today previously, another large Ripple partner, fintech, Neom, also received an EMI, electronic money institution license. And again, this is some really cool stuff here. Working with Scion Commercial Bank via RippleNet, said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The RippleNet and its network effect is going to be massive. It is massive. And you're not going to want to be that dude, that SME, that MSB, money service transmitter business, that FI, that bank. You're not going to want to be that dude that is looking from the outside in onto the RippleNet. You're not going to want to be outside of that RippleNet. You're going to want to be on it. Big time. All right, so recently, GuavaPay started collaborating with Scion Commercial Bank. This has enabled GuavaPay to establish a channel for wiring funds from the UK to Thailand. The money goes directly to local bank accounts for the receivers and stored in bot. Massive, absolutely massive shout out to Ripple and its product, RippleNet. So this is from Leonidas, which is your big time community ad, right? Value add for the community, XRParcade.com. You definitely want to check that out, especially if you're new to this space. If you're new to the XRP community, definitely go check out XRParcade.com and get your XRP, level up your XRP IQ. Ripple lawsuit, fraud allegations drop. Brad Garlinghouse still not out of the woods. Okay, so portions of this thing has kind of been dropped or dismissed, but not all of it. I got Deep Minds out, hanging out with the family, and he wanted to share his take on it with me as well, but he doesn't have that much reception. Best I can tell, it seems the fraud portions are no longer valid. It will continue forward with different parts of the complaint, mainly the SEC and personal holdings of executives, etc. Basically, it's one step closer to being dismissed. All right, and in his personal opinion, a jury trial, although dicey, may be what Ripple needs. So, but he can't get to the internet and look it over any more further. I tried to go to XRParcade.com to kind of see his take on it, but it gave me a notice. Oh, looks like it's now up. Let's see what it says here. I got a notice that it was kind of down for maintenance, but there it is. Ripple lawsuit, fraud allegations drop. Brad Garlinghouse still not out of the woods. So just portions of this lawsuit, not the lawsuit in its entirety. Not the lawsuit in its entirety, just portions has been dropped. The blockchain and crypto industry has been eagerly watching the lawsuits against Ripple, claiming the company and its executives sold unregistered securities and committed fraud. In a recent development, Ripple and its executives have been cleared of any fraud allegations. Excluding a statement made by Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse regarding his XRP holdings. Well, isn't that interesting? So he made a statement. So that's not out of the woods yet. But Ripple and its executives have been cleared of any fraud allegations. Okay. Interesting. So the lawsuit, Zakhanov versus Ripple Labs, was filed in November 2018 in the District Court for the Northern District of California. Since then, it was related to various other cases. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Ripple filed for dismissal, and in February 2020, the Honorable Judge Phyllis J. Hamilton granted and denied in part the motion to dismiss. Specifically, the charges for misleading advertisements were dismissed. along with the charges against Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse for personal liability in connection with the defendant's primary violation. And then it has the amended complaint. The plaintiffs filed an amended complaint in March consisting of 7 claims for relief. And I'm not going to go over all of them, but there they are. Ripple once again argued for the fraud allegations to be dismissed in June 2020 by claiming that the plaintiff failed to prove how and why those statements were false. Ruling on October the 2nd, the Honorable Judge Phyllis A. Hammond reached a decision on Ripple's motion to dismiss these fraud allegations. Specifically, the court concluded that the plaintiffs failed to prove how the 17 alleged misstatements cited in the complaint were true. October and November. For the digital asset space, we shall soon see. According to the judge, the motion to dismiss the 6 and 7 causes of action for violations of California Business and Professions Code is granted with prejudice as to all defendants. However, the motion to dismiss the 4th case of the 4th cause of action for the predicate violation of California corporations is denied. This means that the plaintiffs may proceed on that cause of action solely on the basis of Garlinghouse's alleged misrepresentations concerning the scope and character of his XRP holdings. And I think this is so important to understand, because for me, and I am not an attorney or lawyer, so those of you in that space, please take the time to comment and educate us all. But what I believe has just happened is that Ripple the company and Ripple's the company's behaviors in terms of how they got this XRP into individual hands like yours and mine, has, in terms of it being fraud in any way, shape, or form, has been dismissed. However, Brad Garlinghouse, the individual person, and his personal holdings, just like if I was to go to court with my personal holdings of XRP and someone wants to say something about what I hold, that is a different thing than the lawsuit against Ripple, the company. In my opinion, that's what I read. Now, again, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer. But if you are in that profession, please let us know. Please educate us. That would be so love to hear your take, and that would be so appreciated if she did do that in the comments. This means that the plaintiffs may proceed on the cause of solely on the action solely on the basis of Garlinghouse's alleged misrepresentations concerning the scope and character of his holdings. According to the complaint, throughout 2017, Garlinghouse sold millions of his XRP on various cryptocurrency exchanges while making statements that he was long XRP. That, my friends, is, I kind of think that's, I think that's a stretch. There are plenty of people long on Bitcoin to sell their Bitcoin. So, but hey, I guess she's going to have to decide for herself. So, and maybe it's about the fact that he's saying he's long, but he's selling, and maybe that's part of, it might give some misrepresentation to the market, right? Maybe dumping on the market, maybe trying to control or manipulate the market. I got it. And in any case, it's still not Ripple the company. It's still not XRP security. It's still not Ripple the company acting in any kind of fraudulent or misbehavior. It is in reference, this lawsuit is continuing on in reference to what Brad, with his personal holdings, did and or said. Very much kind of along the lines, I would think, of JP Morgan, although no one sued JP Morgan when he said that Bitcoin was a fraud and Bitcoin was this and it was the devil and everything else. Yet we all know that he and his those affiliated with his company was in fact buying Bitcoin right? Those guys, you know, no one's brought a lawsuit up against them or against him and what he did. Never mind all the rest of gold and silver stuff. Never mind this last thing he just got fined up nearly $1 billion for. No court, no jail time, little small fine. But I think it's important to note this is about Brad now. This is what I'm getting out of this. This is about Brad, his personal holdings as an individual citizen, and a statement that he made about his XRP holdings. Okay, so so that's where I am with that. So Garlinghouse statements in December of 14 for 2017 interview were the following. I'm long XRP. I'm very, very long XRP as a percentage of my personal balance sheet. I am not long on some other digital assets because it is not clear to me what those real utility, what problems are they really solving. If you're solving a real problem, if it's a scale problem, then I think you have a huge opportunity to grow that. We have been really fortunate. Obviously, I remain very, very, very long XRP. There is an expression in the industry, HODL. Instead of hold, it's HODL. I'm on the HODL side. So there that is. And so that's what they're going to kind of go through. So that's very, very cool. Thank you. Here's the court case right here. Thank you, Leonidas, man. Appreciate this. This is golden, 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 absolutely golden stuff. This means that claims 6 and 7, claiming defendants committed fraud, have been dismissed. The defendants, which is Ripple and the executives of Ripple. Claim 4 will proceed only in relation to Ripple's CEO. So this is a big win. Because the fraud's out of the way in the whole security thing. We all know what's up with that. We all know what's up with that. So we expect that with the fraud allegations gone, well, let me read it again. Claim 4 will proceed only in relation to Ripple's CEO's statement regarding his holdings. We expect that with the fraud allegations gone, both parties will focus on the security claims. On the securities claim. So, right. So for me, I don't know. With the fraud stuff out of the way, I think that's pretty big. I really do think that's pretty big. So the security issue, I guess it's a different issue. But I like what this is going. It feels very, 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 very clear to this, all of this just being completely dismissed. Brad, his personal statement, we'll see. We'll see. He certainly could make some arguments, but we'll see how that goes. So this is great news. Thank you for sharing this, Leonidas. This is some really, really good stuff. And, it feels great to be kind of informed. Hopefully she can make some, this can progress even further, but, to hear something this early in October is great. Again, xrparcade.com. Ripple lawsuit, fraud allegations drop. Brad Garlinghouse still not out of the woods in terms of his personal statement about being long on XRP and his XRP holdings. Okay. So that's again, important. The executives, Ripple and the executives, this fraud allegation dismissed. That's hugely important. Brad's personal statement in reference to his XRP holdings are still on the table. The securities issue, which I feel more confident about, whether that is not a security, more so than anything else. The fraud thing, because the fraud thing is a gray area for me. But the security thing to me is not. It really isn't. And so if I think if Ripple and executives are not perhaps acting in a fraudulent way, that's a big thing. Brad's personal statement, is going to be something that Brad personally will have to deal with. But I just think when you clear the executives, it's really clearing the company Ripple in terms of fraud. I think that's massive. So, but again, all you guys out there and gals that are attorneys, I would love to hear your take on that. I know it's going to be quite the discussion in the next couple of coming days about what it really means. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this video up. I just want to bring that to you guys. powerful stuff. I think this is definitely progress without question. And I'm sure we'll talk about it later on today and in the coming days. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.